morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to your Honko service for this year. I'd like to thank Rinban Fujimoto for a wonderful introduction. It's really strange because we do share a lot in common. We do have things that are different also, but there aren't. There have been so many ministers, I think, in the BCA as well as in other traditions like Higashi Honganji, and I was kind of thinking about how few of the sons have taken over after, or who have followed in their father's footsteps, and Reverend Fujimoto and I happen to be two of them. Reverend Abiko and others, of course, Reverend Sasaki and are kind of like our mentors. Also, or Uno Sensei and so forth. But anyway, it's really wonderful to be here at San Jose. I have a kind of a long history. My wife Janet, as I think someone mentioned, is from Gilroy. And so from the time that we got together, we'd come up to this area a lot. And then my sister actually married someone in San Jose, and so she and her family still continue to live up here. And so we do get to come up quite often, but this is the first time that I'm actually joining you for a service. And also, Reverend Sakamoto and I too, the three of us were in Kyoto together this is like from 1971. I was there from 71 to 75, so almost 40 years ago now. But I consider both Rinban Fujimoto and Reverend Sakamoto as two of my favorite Dharma friends. And to be able to come to their temple and to speak to you is really a wonderful opportunity. Historically, it's been said that the year ends and the year begins with the observance of Honko. And in the Nishihonganji tradition, we observe Honko on January the 16th. And so it really is kind of like coinciding with New Year, and so it's easy to understand that we end the year and begin the year with Honko. But in our Higashi Honganji tradition, we celebrate Honko in November. It's said, according to the biography, that Shinran Shonin passed away on the 28th day of the 11th month. But that was the lunar calendar, the old calendar, and so we continue to observe Honko according to the lunar calendar, whereas Nishihonganji now has kind of translated that date to January the 16th. It's funny because we celebrate Tanjoe, or well, you call it Gotae, the birthday of Shinran Shonin, according to the solar calendar. And so we're really confused, And the reason why I think is because if we celebrated his birthday according to the lunar calendar, then it would be right around the same time as Hanamatsuri. And so, that's why we're very confused. But it's nice, to be able to observe Honko and to observe it, with a different Sangha. I think the year-end, the New Year, is really a time for us to reflect back, to think back on all the things that happened during 2008. And Rinban mentioned that we happen to be the same age. I happen to be just a few months older than he is, but we both turned 60. So in Japanese tradition we call it kandeki. And in the old days, it was really regarded as a new beginning. We return to babies and we start, a new life. And I really, I had a real hard time turning 59. But then, once finally, when my 60th birthday came along, I actually enjoyed, turning 60, and I'm proud to be 60. And I'm proud to be able to, go to like a supermarket. We have a Mitsuwa in Los Angeles, and about 2 weeks after I turned 60, I went to buy some things. And then I noticed that the woman at the cash register, she took off, she gave me a discount, And so then I thought, oh, maybe the things that I bought were on sale and I didn't really notice it. And then I got back to the temple and I opened up the bag and I looked at the receipt and it said senior discount. And so I'm thinking, boy, I hope the senior discount doesn't start at 65, you know? And so I asked some people and I found out that it actually started at 60, but then she didn't ask me for, ID or anything. So I said, well, I guess I look 60, but that's okay. Anyway, when I think back on 2008, it was really an eventful year, not only for me personally, but for the world, for our country and the world. And the leap year is always kind of a eventful year because we have the Summer Olympics, we have the presidential elections. There's so much going on. And last year, the Summer Olympics in China, and then, of course, the presidential elections that we really were a part of for pretty much a whole year. And although, well, we're not supposed to talk much about politics in our churches and temples because of the basic idea of separation of church and state, but now that it's over and now that we're only 2 days away from the inauguration, I can say that well, personally, I was very happy with the results. Not to say that John McCain wouldn't have made a good president, but that it really was time for change. And when you think about it, like Buddhism, that's all we talk about, is we talk about impermanence, we talk about change. And so change is something that, to a great extent we look forward to. And it is amazing that someone like Barack Obama could have risen so fast to become the next president of the United States. I'm partial to a certain extent because Barack started out his college education at my alma mater, Occidental College. And he says that he got his start in politics, interest in politics, involvement in politics back when he was at Occidental. I still continue to serve as the Buddhist advisor on campus, and so the whole campus, before the election was really buzzing with excitement leading up to the election. And we have a Buddhist group on campus that I meet with every week, and it just happens we meet on Wednesday, and so it's the day after the election. And some of the students that always are there, and so I asked the others, what happened to them? And they said, oh, well, we were partying, pretty much all night. None of us got much sleep, and so that's why, there aren't all of us here today. And already Wednesday morning, there was a special campus newspaper with a big photo on the front page with a picture, and it said, in huge letters, victory, with an exclamation point. Well, now, 2 days before the inauguration, I think we will witness a new page in American history, really a new chapter in our nation's history, one that can have a very big impact around the world as well. But